a growing interest is being directed to sound healing. This typically includes using basic instruments such as singing bowls, gong, the sound, or a drum, all of which do not require academic studies. They are simple to play and, for that reason, can be utilized by anybody wanting to explore them and their results in regards to healing. Sound healing is just, to a small degree, a matter of playing technique. It is primarily about feeling and intuition. Using musical instruments in a balanced way requires substantial work on yourself if you desire some genuine healing work. New instruments are being invented to deal with sounds, like the sound bed, the monochord, or the crystal bowls. Many others have been presented into the West from distant cultures and traditions, didgeridoos, Tibetan cymbals, gongs, and singing bowls. Some remarkable CD albums strictly for healing usage have actually been produced over the last 10 years. Anyone can explore and utilize sounds. Yet, the task is tricky. What are you, in fact, trying to find? How do you know how and if sounds work? The essence of sound is non-physical. Therefore, we need to turn towards the understanding of the non-physical. The science of sound healing potentially existed once upon a time in the far-off past, however, has actually been mainly lost to us. This is not so for the science of energy and spiritual healing. There exists an undisturbed transmission of understanding about energy in numerous cultures. I will be making use of this knowledge. This course combines the science of energy healing and an understanding of the effects of sound, without which you cannot go into any depth. It is a course to understand how specific sounds work and how they can be used. It offers a map that helps to link the impacts of sound on the body, the subconscious, feelings, and thoughts. From the early 1950s onwards till sometime in the mid-70s, using musical instruments for therapeutic use was mainly the domain of music therapists. Normally speaking, they have not emphasized exploring the results of the sound of an instrument on an individual. Whether consciously or not, many music therapists have more than likely though used an intuitive understanding of these results, as lots of artists, sound engineers, and composers do. The spiritual element has not been for a long time a primary issue in the training of music therapists, nor was it an understanding of subtle anatomy. One is possibly the result of the other. Times are altering. I am convinced that music treatment cannot avoid for a lot longer exploring energy, the healing effects of sound, and the spiritual measurement. It is the essence of music. The appearance of sound therapists may record the requirement for this modification. A number of roadways can be traveled when dealing with sound healing. There are sound treatments where you work very precisely with frequencies. These treatments would generally take a reasonably brief time period. This is a fascinating area. However, I know really little about it and therefore will not handle it here. Other sound treatments deal with particular locations in the energy field with tuning forks, little cymbals, or the sound. I will be talking about this. Another kind of treatment utilizes the qualities of an instrument to work in the aura at some distance from the physical body. This form of treatment may take just some quick minutes and might have been preceded by a lengthy talk with the customer about how he is feeling and what brought him to a healing encounter. On the other hand, there may be no talking at all beforehand. Immersing individuals in a sound bath through utilizing gongs, large drums, a sound bed, singing, and crystal bowls, and such like is an experience that requires a particular length of time, say from 20 minutes to approximately an hour. Yet another kind brings us nearer to how classical music treatment works, that is, when groups or individuals work with experiential improvisations. Many sound routines enter this healing context: drumming circles, gong groups, shouting, or spiritual choir music. One might call these methods experiential. Their main goal need not be healing but rather self-discovery and upliftment, though the borderline to healing would be fine and will often be crossed. Using specific CD together with awareness exercises for meditation, relaxation, and self-exploration is certainly another kind of sound healing that has actually come much into focus. The benefit of taped music is that you can duplicate the exact same recording quality over and over again, when and anywhere you want to. This can assist us in understanding what a specific instrument tape recorded in a certain way can do. You do not need to depend upon buying expensive instruments or waiting for the opportunity to hear a musician or to travel to a show. Checking out the music for self-healing is yet another form of sound healing. Needing to keep this examination to a sensible size, I will not check out sound healing, chanting, or dance in any depth, although all of these are, of course, associated to music. Much of what I will explore, though, can likewise be used for working with the sound. For benefit's sake, I will make a difference between sound healing and music therapy so far as I will not explain at any length the various musical elements, rhythms, speed, key, musical modes, intervals, chords, and tonal systems are examples. The option of each musical component being among the 5 aspects of figuring out the effects of sound healing will considerably figure out what is being played. Today, an excellent number of people are working and experimenting with sound, all of whom are gathering experience and comprehending the healing capacity of sound. Any or all the various ways of working can be combined by a private into a very personal working method. Copying others will not advance your knowledge extremely far. You have actually got to discover to utilize your instinct and find your own method. We understand intuitively that music has the ways to connect us with a place deep inside us. This location might very well be deep outside us, as we will see. In order to comprehend what sound does to us and how it may be utilized for healing a word whose original meaning is to make entire, we require to study its subtle effects. It is these subtle effects that permeate deeply. In the very first place, you need to study these effects within yourselves. You need to include some understanding of your psychoenergetic makeup. That is to say, you must exceed your physical and psychological pattern. Learning to comprehend how energy works, how your energy fields function, and how ideas, feelings, memory, and universal laws enter into. This will allow you to begin to see how sound works and how it can be used. Learning about sound, energy, and the mind will lead you to discover human growth, about life, and how whatever, every being is interrelated. This learning process can just happen experientially. Everybody can work with a singing bowl, her own sound, a didgeridoo, or pure sounds recordings. A systematic approach is needed to allow someone to comprehend the impacts of what he or she is doing. You need to understand what you are searching for. If sound healing has any reality, its benefits will expose itself to an improvement in the handling of our lives, relationships, thoughts, and emotions. Both sound and energy lead us away from a simplistic and materialistic understanding of the world. Sound, energy, and we individuals are, in essence, non-physical. I shall attempt to bring together these aspects: the action of sound, our subtle anatomy, ideas, feelings, and their associations to body parts, as well as some current findings in neuroscience that are worrying the human brain, and music. Sound and music work within the laws of consistency, and this is where their potential is discovered. We need to develop a much better understanding of these laws. They are not similar to the laws of acoustics. Sound can assist us in doing this. However, an individual should be prepared to alter mentally so as to learn what sound has to offer. I am persuaded that sound has fantastic healing potential if we discover how to utilize it. This demands some personal humbleness and recognition that still there is unknown about all this. You have to be open to sound mentors, observe them, observe yourself, share your experiences with others, and gradually develop a sound understanding. Above all, this technique needs common sense and compassion. This is a long-term job, as is life itself. My method to sound healing for that reason is not a lot based on a belief that it will be yet another tablet that I can ask a person to swallow without needing him or her to participate in and contribute to his or her own healing procedure. Require time to absorb what you read in this course. Try out it, question it, validate it, find your own words for it, come back to it, discover on your own,